first of all, I want to thank all of you. I mean, really, 80 people on a hot summer night, the dog days of summer, and here you are, and you know what? Most of you are here, not so much for yourself, but for the people that you love, the people you care about, for society, for your neighbors. That's just so damn Canadian. So I want to thank all of you very, very much. I want to give a special thanks to Environment Hamilton for the job. Few of us in this room have been at these kind of things for an awfully long time. And I got to tell you, it warms my heart to see young people like yourself and others who are stepping up to the plate as the rest of us sort of get ready to shuffle off the stage. I wanted to just say one thing about the importance of this. It's in the legislation, and the politics are such that these things are likely going to be held in almost every riding. But the political importance is this. In the last election, Canadians decided that they wanted a whole different agenda on fighting climate change. Now, whether that was going to be the Greens, the Libs, or the NDP was the issue of the election. But make no mistake, the desire for change was there. And the one thing that Canadians did was make sure that although it's not NDP, and we wish it was, that aside, we now have a federal government that is at least talking the right language. And that is a huge step in the right direction. For those of you, and I know everyone in this room would be part of that, who watched what Harper did for the better part of a decade, when the criticisms and the push for change meant nothing because they were climate change deniers to start with. And when they finally stopped saying those sort of things, they were still light years away from saying anything progressive. It was a nuisance file for them. It wasn't why they were there. Now, it makes a difference that we now have a government that's talking a different talk. But let's keep in mind, this is the same party that signed the Kyoto Agreement with great fanfare, only it was later admitted that they had no intention of ever implementing it. And as I said at a couple of the tables, you can see the proof of that in their budgets, where they put line items to pay the penalties for not reaching Kyoto and put $0 to things that would actually achieve it. So that's their history. And that brings me to why it's so important we're here. This is going to put active, real pressure on the government to live up to their promises. So it's one thing to have a separate set of promises on something that matters so much, but making sure that there's real change, real money, real legislative action, that still requires the public to step forward in our great pluralistic society to put that pressure on them. And that's what you've done here tonight. You've played an important part of putting that public pressure on a new government that promised all the right things, or at least in part, and now we need to make sure that they actually live up to it. Even if it starts to cause them some political problems elsewhere, too bad. It's got to be done, and that's the main message coming out of here. Please, stay.